What if you touch the sun for just 1 nanosecond? 1 billionth of a second. That's shorter than a blink, shorter than the time it takes light to travel a foot, shorter even than the moment it takes you to realize you've made a terrible mistake. Surely you'd be fine, right? I mean, how bad could 1 nanosecond really be? Well, let's just say that if you somehow managed to touch the sun, fine would be the absolute last word anyone would use to describe you.
Let's start by imagining that somehow, through either magic or extremely bad science, you're able to teleport your finger to the surface of the sun for exactly 1 nanosecond. No more, no less. You're standing there on Earth, perfectly safe, and then zap! Your finger appears on the sun. Instantly, that finger is surrounded by plasma at about 5,500 degrees Celsius, roughly 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. For comparison, that's hotter than any material on Earth can survive, hotter than molten lava, and definitely hotter than your ex's last text message. But here's the catch. 1 nanosecond is so absurdly short that heat doesn't have enough time to move through matter the way it normally does. So for the briefest possible moment, the energy doesn't even spread, it just explodes.
In that 1 billionth of a second, the sun's surface would dump around 20 megajoules of energy per square meter into your finger, roughly the same as detonating several kilograms of TNT. Your fingertip wouldn't just burn, it would vaporize. The molecules themselves would tear apart, the atoms gone. They'd be stripped of their electrons and scattered into a puff of ionized gas, mixing instantly with the sun's plasma. And the worst part? The vaporized remains of your finger wouldn't even have time to leave behind smoke. There's no air on the sun. You just cease to exist at the atomic level in the tiniest possible instant. Congratulations, you've just given the sun a microscopic snack.
But what about the rest of you, standing on Earth, watching this experiment unfold? Remember, matter can't just teleport without consequences. When your finger reappears in that 1 nanosecond, the sudden release of energy would create a chain reaction, an expanding plasma shockwave racing backward through the space-time coordinates your finger just vacated. In plain English, it means you've just punched a hole through the universe's patience. The energy required to bridge that distance and the energy released when you touch the sun would probably equal a small nuclear explosion localized to your arm. So yes, your finger's gone, your arm's gone, and you're now a cautionary tale in every physics textbook ever written.
Still, let's imagine a more controlled version. What if we could design a special sun-proof robot hand, something that can withstand the heat and pressure for 1 nanosecond, just to see what would happen? The sensors would record an absurd burst of energy, radiation, and magnetic flux. The data would be so extreme that no computer could even process it in real time. The entire system would fry instantly. But for that one impossible moment, we'd get the most detailed snapshot of solar energy transfer ever captured. It would be a physicist's dream, right before it melts.
And here's where it gets funny, or maybe terrifying. Touching the sun, even for 1 nanosecond, isn't really about the sun. It's about scale. It's about how our human sense of time and temperature just collapses when faced with cosmic reality. To us, a nanosecond is nothing. To physics, it's an eternity, packed with more energy than we could ever hope to control. It's a reminder that even the smallest brush with the universe's raw power would rewrite everything we understand about survival. So what if you touched the sun for 1 nanosecond? You wouldn't feel the heat or the pain or even the regret. You'd simply become part of the sunlight itself, a brief flicker of matter turned into pure energy, racing away at the speed of light. And maybe that's kind of beautiful, because in the end, you wouldn't just touch the sun, you'd become it.
Now, maybe touching the sun wasn't about destruction.
But what if the next great conflict in the universe didn't involve us at all? What if humanity watched an alien versus AI war? Click to watch the next episode and step into a future where we're no longer the main characters.